You moved like a criminal psycho in the dark. Not loud, not sloppy. Surgical. No footsteps, no warning, no trail. You didn't storm in like some desperate fool trying to prove a point. You slid in. Like a bad thought. Like regret. Like a decision they knew was coming, but still weren't ready for. To them, you were a glitch at first. An inconvenience. A problem they could handle later. Then later came, and they realized the problem didn't shrink. You grew. They don't even know what to call you anymore. Threat, risk, legend, liability. They try to stuff you into labels because labels make them feel safe. If they can name you, they can pretend they understand you. But you ruined that. 1 minute they swore they had you boxed in, papers filed, stories written, conclusions drawn. The next minute, you were gone. No dramatic exit, no final speech, just an empty space where you used to stand and a feeling they didn't have words for. You reappeared in places they never thought you'd reach, rooms you weren't qualified to walk into, positions they never pictured you holding, levels they never wanted you to touch. Doing things nobody predicted for you because they quietly agreed you'd never get that far. You weren't trying to be a legend. You weren't chasing fame, followers, or applause. You were trying to survive stylishly, to move through war without letting it turn you into a victim or a clown. And you did. Not with tantrums, not with viral breakdowns. You did it with that cold composure that says, I saw this setup 10 miles away, and I still walked in just to watch you panic when it didn't work. You turned every trap into a test you quietly passed. They thought you were reckless, you were calculating, they thought you were naive, you were observing, they thought you were lost. You were just walking a route they weren't smart enough to see. So now when your name comes up, it's never casual. There's always a pause, a look, a shift in tone. Because the story stopped being, remember when we had him, and turned into, remember when we thought we had him. You didn't just slip through their fingers. You made them question whether they ever really held you in the first place. You didn't just dodge bullets. You choreographed around them, not just metal bullets, the emotional kind, betrayal, backhanded compliments, fake opportunities dressed like blessings. Most people flinch. You smirked. You weren't scared. You just understood the rules better than they did. While they were bragging about having you cornered, you were tracing exits in your head, counting steps, measuring distance, listening for the tremor in their voice that said, I'm lying. They thought you were reckless. You were reading the room. It looked like luck from the outside, but that was instinct sharpened by years of chaos. A sixth sense born from every time you trusted the wrong smile and walked away bleeding. They look at you now and ask, how is he still standing, still quiet, still plotting, still laughing? Simple. Pain didn't just toughen you up. It rebuilt you from the bones out. You don't just wear armor. You are armor. Every betrayal became another plate in the suit. Every humiliation became another layer of steel. Every night you spent staring at the ceiling, feeling like the world was caving in, turned into a blueprint you never showed anyone. You made a deal with the dark. I don't run from you. We move together. They need light to feel safe. You can navigate in pure shadow. You don't just blend in. You haunt places. Your energy lingers long after you leave, and they feel it in their spine before they ever admit it with their mouth. Your silence. They misdiagnosed it. They thought you were broken, defeated, done. You weren't coping. You were coiling. While they laughed, you listened. While they celebrated your downfall, you took notes. You were writing a manual in scars and solitude. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped defending your name in rooms that were already committed to misunderstanding you. You shifted from talking to testing, from reacting to recording, from arguing to upgrading. You let them say whatever helped them sleep, You weren't chasing closure. You were building capacity. And when you came back, you didn't announce it. You just let your new behavior silence every rumor they built in your absence. They called you paranoid. Later, they called you right. You were the one who noticed the hesitation in their hug, the delay in their replies, the way their tone changed when your name wasn't supposed to be heard. Most people ignore that. You archived it. You turned paranoia into pattern recognition. You learned that smiles can be costumes, apologies can be access keys, and promises can be prison sentences if you stop paying attention. So you stopped taking people at face value. You read their motives, not their message. You stopped asking, "Do they like me?" and started asking, "What do they gain from me being blind?" You didn't stop loving. You just stopped loving without a contract. Terms, conditions, and boundaries etched in stone. That's what scares them now. They can't sweet-talk their way back in. They can't guilt-trip you into forgetting what you saw. You turned your trust issues into a security system. You don't need revenge. Your existence is loud enough. You don't yell anymore. You don't rant. You don't expose receipts. You just walk into rooms and watch the air shift, the ones who crossed you. They feel it every time your name comes up, that tightness in their chest, that flicker of shame they pretend isn't there. They remember how they counted you out. They remember laughing. They remember betting against you. And now they have to live with the sequel. You, calm, collected, untouchable. You don't flex your scars. You let them glow under the surface like warning signs. You're not trying to be feared. You simply don't care to be understood. Real power isn't how loud you talk. It's how much changes when you say nothing. They thought you disappeared. You didn't. You just stopped performing for people who weren't paying you in respect. While they were chasing attention, you were stacking discipline. While they were arguing in circles, you were building in straight lines. You moved off their map and put them on yours. Now you glide, not like someone hunting trouble, like someone who already buried it. You don't chase apologies. You don't chase closure. You don't chase people. You let time expose patterns and let distance do what confrontation never could. You became folklore, a cautionary tale with a pulse, a ghost they swear they're over, but still dream about at 3 a.m. You moved like a criminal psycho in the night, dodged everything they fired at you, and kept it gangsta to the core, not for clout, not for stories, for legacy. Let them watch, let them whisper, let them wonder. They'll spend their lives trying to understand how you did it. You'll be too busy doing it again.